Welcome to the Motorcar Marketing Admin Panel demo. So once you log in, this is the first page that you're going to see. It's basically the dashboard, and it gives you a couple of options, including actually being able to look at your website. So if you have a website with us, basically there's a few different parts of the site that allow you to control virtually every aspect of your site. The first spot you're going to look at is the Manage Dealership, and this is all just your very pat dealership information, your address, your phone number, your email address. You can set where you want emails to go and that kind of stuff. This shows up on your website in a variety of places, mainly on the footer of every page, and then of course also in the contact page. This creates a nice map which you can see, and it also shows your contact and your email address information, as well as having your contact information, your phone number, and your email address up top so people can easily find it. The next section that you're going to want to use quite a bit if you're using our website product is the Manage Vehicles tab. And basically you're just going to go in here. This is very simple. We've spent a lot of time and money building out this very easy to use interface to upload cars. All you're going to want to do is basically click on this Add New Vehicle form. This is a live site, so I'm not going to do it on this particular demo, but you can see what it basically looks like by looking at this edit screen. It's pretty self-explanatory. You have all the different information that you're going to want to fill out, the VIN number, and we can actually, I'll give a little demonstration because we have a VIN decoder. So this is all the information. I mean, it's, as I said, pretty self-explanatory. Transmission, you just type in all the information. You can put, if you have a YouTube video or a Vimeo video, you put the HTML code in there. You have comments, all the different particular features that this car might have, and then of course images. And our image upload tool is very easy to use. You can literally just drag and drop from your computer. You just open up a folder on your computer and then drag the photo into this section, into this area, and obviously you can remove the images as well. I'll just want to demo the let's go back here. I just want to demo our VIN feature. This will save you a lot of time. Basically, when you're adding a new vehicle, add vehicle, you're going to just type in your VIN number into this section, and with any luck, this thing is actually going to pull up some information just like it just did. So, you know, 2008 Audi A4. So you don't have to type all that information every time you want to load a new car. All you have to do is type in the VIN number, and a lot of this information will be pre-populated. So the next section you're going to want to look at as far as running your website is this tab that says Manage Website, and that basically will allow you to manage all the various different sections of your website. You can create an unlimited number of content pages, and that means you know, if you have some specific piece of text that you want to do, a lot of sites use this for search engine optimization purposes. You can create a content page about, say, a particular vehicle type. This dealer doesn't actually have any content pages created, but basically all you do is you go in here and you just click on this button, Add New Content Page, and they have a welcome message, so we can use that to kind of get a feel for how you do it. But basically you just type in your content, whatever you want. You just type in your page here, and as I said, for search engine optimization, you might create a page if you are, you know, selling a particular type of car like BMW 325i's. You might create a page that gives a whole bunch of information, or you might create multiple pages that give a whole bunch of information about that particular car, and then the search engines are going to love that because it's going to be unique, original content, and it's not necessarily going to be content about a specific car, but maybe about the BMW 325 just in general, you know, maybe how to get it repaired, maybe how to find a good one, maybe tips on buying a used one, things to look out for. Those kinds of content pages are real good for search engine optimization, and with our publishing platform, as I said, you can add an unlimited number of content pages. When you create the content page, you basically can say where you want it to show up, so basically how you want it linked. You can link to it from your header, you can link to it from your footer, or you can link in the header and the footer. And what that means, if you obviously, if you choose in header, in footer, or header and footer, that'll be in both. That means it'll put it in this section. If you choose header, then that link will show up in this section. If you choose footer, it will show up in this section down here, in this footer section. You can also, the reason you don't necessarily have to do that, you can just choose live, and that means the page will be live, and then you could link from another content page. So you don't necessarily have to link to it from the header or the footer. You can link to it from another content page. It's also going to be in the site map, so there'll be a link there so that search engines can find it. So the next main part of the website product is managing the home page, and you can see there's different sections on this home page. There's the featured vehicle section. There are these sections which get people to a particular, type of car under $5,000, less than 25,000 miles. And then there's kind of a nice welcome message. And then there's just some bullet points that highlight some of your particular businesses. And then there's this sort of what I call just like an ad, a quick ad for contact us. And you can put anything in here. And the way you control that is all through this homepage tab. So you can see you've got featured vehicles. You can basically choose what vehicle you want to use. These are all this dealer's particular vehicles. You just choose whatever vehicle you want. Some dealers choose to do this because they really want to micromanage which vehicles are featured. If you don't, as you can see, this dealership has not chosen any featured vehicles, and then basically our system will just automatically grab 10 vehicles to feature. This is actually the recommended method, is not necessarily micromanaging this, because if you sell out, you might start out with like 8 cars here, and then as you sell 2 or 3 or 4 of them, then you're down to only 2 or 3 or 4 featured vehicles. So you constantly would have to continue to manage this. If you don't want to manage it, which 95% of our dealers, I would say, do not worry about this section. They just leave it to defaults, and it works perfectly fine. Same thing with these homepage vehicle blocks, and that's what these things are here. And again, this dealership has not chosen anything. You can see it's just using the defaults. You can choose whatever you want. You can choose the first block to be by make Audi, by make BMW. You can do whatever you want. What it's doing now with the default is it looks at what you sell the most of. So this particular dealer has 16 BMWs, which is more than any other single type of car they're selling. So there's some logic that is built behind the scenes, and again, you can micromanage that if you want, or you can just leave the default. 95% of our dealers just leave it to the default. The next section is the dealership features, and this is these little bullet points here. And again, this dealership is just chosen to use the default, and that's totally fine. You can just, if you don't want to use the default, you just basically put in something here. But right now, just being blank, it just means that they're using the default text, which is what's showing up. And then same thing here. This is this short ad message and the short ad message body. This controls this little section. You can put anything you want in there, and the way you do that is by simply typing something in here. Again, most dealers don't necessarily micromanage these sections, but you're perfectly welcome. If there's something you do that's special about your dealership, that might be a good place to highlight it. The next page, it's pretty self-explanatory. Hours of operation. You just put in whatever you want, and that will show up, and that shows up on your contact page. It also shows up down here in the footer, so people can find exactly what hours you're open. Testimonials are something a lot of dealerships utilize. You can type in as many testimonials as you want, and they will actually appear on their own testimonials page. And there is actually a form. You can see your customers can actually go here and fill out a testimonial, and that will send you an email so that you can either approve the testimonial or not. Obviously, a customer cannot just write whatever they want and have it show up on your website. You have to approve this first. This dealership doesn't have any testimonials on their site, so nothing is showing up here. But this is where you would go to edit that. And then this is just some sort of general website options. We have lots of different themes and color schemes. You can choose whatever you want to maybe match your logo. So they have a red logo, so they went with a red design. And then if you have a Facebook account, Twitter account, or YouTube account for your particular dealership, you just type that in here and then hit the update button, and then those will give some little. It'll put in some little icons in your footer and your header. Again, I guess this dealership hasn't actually done that. That's pretty much it for managing your website. Those are basically the main sections that you're going to want to use. We have some other tools and some other products, but for just getting a website and using our auto dealer website product, those are the sections of our admin panel that you're going to want to use.